Welcome everyone. Thank you for coming back. Today we'll be setting up NPC Summoners, a great tool to make your servers or single player game feel alive and add some random combat ambushes and many more features. So let's get started. Let's get into it quickly. Like always, with the first thing we do is go into admin mode, so press the exit menu, settings, server, administration, make me admin. Now we are in admin mode. You can see it here. I already entered creative mode because it remembers it. But remember, it'll be like this for you. You just click enter. Now we are in creative mode. Now let's find the summoner, NPC summoner tool, which is admin panel, cheat panel. All the Pippi tools are in the building category. We type NPC Summoner and it's right here. Click it. It has been added to my hotbar. Now we simply press 1 and it looks like an egg. Place it down. And now we have successfully placed an NPC Summoner. Now we just click E to open it. Now you're gonna see a lot of different elements on the UI here. It's not too complicated, but it might be overwhelming the first time you see it. What does every little thing and button over here does? Let's start by just making it work. Alright, so to make it work, we first need to add an NPC because there's nothing to summon. And it's right here, NPCs, list of NPCs to summon for this wave. Now, you may be thinking about waves like, oh, I need to set up a bunch of waves. No, the first wave is simply a spawn. So you can think of it like if you don't want to do any waves, it's just my spawn. So we add a spawn, exile underscore. There we go. Now we have an archer, whatever. Let's use this one. Apply, close. Nothing happens. What is going on? That's because the tool expects a trigger to make it summon things. However, you can simply click auto initialize, which basically is like spawn it as soon as I click apply. And there you go. And the guy's gonna walk off into those ruins or the distance. Okay, so what happens if we defeat him? Well, he's gone. He'll have the default loot. And if we come back, nothing is happening. No more summons. Everything is just over. And that's it. If you want to constantly keep spawning enemies, we simply click auto next wave. And you might be asking, but there's no next wave. So what it'll do is just cycle between all their waves, right? So if you were to have 5 of them, it will go up to 5 and then start at 1 again. But we only have 1, so we'll just go and start again indefinitely. So there you go. Now we defeat him again. And now we have an endless NPC summons. And you just kill him and kill him. Oop, that one got buffed and killed and killed. Okay, we're doing a mess. I have a little command here. This is from Pippi, which is clean up. You have to enable it. There we go. Let me show you how to enable it in case you're curious. You go to commands. Search here clean up. And you have to click here, enable it. Now it's enabled. And now you can use it so you can clean up the mess that you do when testing. Right. Let's continue. Obviously that was crazy, right? Every single time I got one, it summoned another one. So we can do a little delay here on wave delay. So, and this, you could think about it as a wave delay or simply as a cooldown, right? So let's call it cooldown to make it easier to remember. So a cooldown. Every time you defeat an enemy or the last enemy, but we only have one, so the enemy, after 3 seconds, it'll summon it again. Let's see it. It also works like this. As you can see, as soon as I click apply, it didn't summon it, right? It kind of was like laggy or delayed, but it is applying the 3 seconds. Let's try it. 1, 2, 3. There you go. So now let's get rid of him while looking at the spawner. 2, 3. Again.
It wasn't supposed to be
1,
like that.
2, 3. There you go. So that's how that works. That's how you add a cooldown. This is in real life days, hours, minutes, and seconds, alright? So one day here will not be a day inside the game, right? It will be a real life 24-hour day. So keep that in mind. The same thing with the wave expiring. If we remove the cooldown here for the spawning and we add a cooldown here for an expire timer, we're gonna summon, and after 3 seconds, 2, 3, he's gone. Again, 2, 3, gone. So far we already learned how to add an NPC, how to summon them, how to keep summoning them, right? How to add a cooldown, how to expire the summons. Here, this is more advanced, so we can look at this on another video, on a more advanced video. Here we can set how many NPCs get spawned from the same wave. So let's make it 2. And now it summons 2 NPCs. And it looks ugly, right? Because they kind of spawn on top of each other. That's where the spawn location comes in. And you can see we have random spawn and sequential spawn. Let's try again. Let's see where they are spawning. Not even in the same universe. Alright. So, how do we fix that? That's where we go here. Spawn locations. First we click show spawns because we want to see, where they're spawning. Click apply. We add a spawn location. And you see we get this little overlay. Let's just spawn them over here so we can look at them. Again. Let's add another one. And I believe if we hold shift and click, we can keep adding more. And this works for many of the Pippi tools, so keep it in mind. Shift, click. Let's add 3 for now. And now we can always also change the names, but I'm gonna skip that. We can change the colors. Let's do it so you can see the difference. Put the same color, of course. There you go. Green. There you go. And now you can see over here they have, let me clean this mess up. Let's also disable these 2 things, the auto initialize and auto next wave. Let's remove those so we don't spawn them anymore for now. And now we have 3 different locations where the enemies can spawn from. We only have 2 enemies and we random spawn them, and it'll pick one of these 3 locations randomly. Let's click apply. Auto initialize, remember. Let's do it again. There you go. Now it picked a random location. Let's try it again. Apply again. Apply again. Apply again. There you go. We can also have the sequential one, and what that means is that it will spawn one here, then here, then here, and if you have any more, it will start again. So now because we have 2 enemies spawning at the same time, it will use the first and the second one. We have 3, in theory it should use all 3. There you go. If we spawn 4 but we have 3, then it will spawn 2 on top of each other. See? 2 spawn from this, and then it use all the other ones. 4 NPCs in totals. If we do 5, there you go. So you get the idea. Let's go back to 1. Let's unclick this so we can clear them, and then click it again. Okay, so now you know what the default one does, the random, the sequential, and obviously you can specifically pick the ones here that you want to spawn from. So, and it's these ones. Okay, let's take a look now on the spawn modifiers. So edit modifier, add modifier, and we get the default one as health, but you can change to all this. We'll explain a few of these. First one to explain, right? So we see the modifier type here, which are all these, the value and the chance that the value will get applied to the spawn. Now this gets applied on the spawn, right? So if you have already something spawn, it won't work. It has to be on the spawn. So if we add a value here of 10,000, and I believe this gets added on top of the current NPC health. So if the NPC already has 10,000, he will have 20,000, I believe. So now I won't be able to defeat this NPC because they have too much health. Yeah, so that's how it works. That one's fairly simple to understand. The same, let's remove it and add it again. The same works for the damage, how much the damage this NPC will do to players, and the EXP, how much you're going to get after it gets defeated. The scale is how big the NPC is going to be. Now a scale 1 is basically default, right? Because on the scale it works from 0 to 100% or beyond, right? So this means it's 100% of its size. If we put it to 1.3, this will mean that we have added 30% more to the height, so 130%, right? And now you can see we have a big boy, right? And now if we edit this, make something crazy like 5 and apply, we have a big UC girl. So that's how it works. Let's remove that. The roaming distance is fun, is also a fun one, right? Because set this to 1. If you could see throughout the tutorial, they just keep walking into the distance. If you are roaming distance of 1, they stay very close to the spawn. If you add a roaming distance of 0, or 0, I believe they should just not walk at all. Yep. And so just so you have a reference, this is how 500 looks like, which is relatively close and good for patrolling. It almost looks like the default setting of the game. There you go. That's how 500 looks like. If you add a modifier of 1,000, so you have even more reference, right? So he's going to keep walking around. All right. Now, that works as a radius, right? So, let me show you. If I add a value of 5, just to keep it very small. A radius is an invisible bubble, right? Around the spawn. But every time they hit the invisible bubble, they go another way. So that's how it works, right? So yeah, that's how it works. Now the community one is a very interesting one. I don't know all the values, but I do know that -1. Well, let me explain first. The community means what type of community this NPC belongs to. So if you add a value of -1, they won't attack you as the player. Let me get rid of it. Creative mode, see? It's gone. Even if I attack them, they won't do anything. So you could do some interesting things with it. For example, if we go to cheat panel, spawn NPCs, and then click on spawn as converted troll, and I'll click this one. I just spawn a troll, and I put it down. They will fight each other. Now, let's put her on aggressive. They will fight each other, but they won't attack you as the player. So you could do some kind of stuff like some arenas where you could tell people like, hey, bring your troll, let's see a fight, or spawns or whatever, or you know, troll boss fights or whatever. So that's how it works. Now you know the basics of the summoner, but we are not done yet, right? We still have other menus that we can experiment with. Okay, so let's work with this. Now let's say you want to spawn items from the defeated NPCs. Well, we can actually do that, and it's right here with the death kits. So you can see this is from my previous tutorial, and was a test. So we're gonna delete this one, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to delete it, but I'll still call it the same. Okay, so for that we go into the admin panel, we go to kits. Now every time you want to drop something, spawn something that is an item, this is where you go to kits, you create it, you put it a name, and then you search for it. It always going to work like that. Okay, here it is, the blacksmith kit that you could see on the drop down menu, and the coins kit that you could also see on the drop down menu. Now I'm going to delete this. There you go. Now we only have the blacksmith preset and the blacksmith kit, and let's show you how that looks over here. There you go, none and blacksmith, and we go to kit, it matches the same thing. Okay, let's create a kit quickly. Let's call it coins or coin drops, and let's call this loot drop. There you go. Now it has been created. Let's test it out. Yep, it's right here. Coin drops. We can already select it. Obviously, it won't do anything because we haven't assigned any items. So if we spawn, it won't matter, right? There's no coins. It's the same default loot. There's nothing in my inventory. There's nothing on my hotbar. So it's doing nothing right now because it's empty. Hits. Okay. Coin drops. And over here, kit items. The items that go into the kit. Okay, we add an item. Usually, server owners always use this, which is the PP items, the bronze items. Excuse me, the coins, the bronze, silver, gold. These are virtual items. They don't exist inside the game as a item itself. It's this thing. This is what we're talking about. But for the sake of testing, I'm going to use default Conan coins so that we can spawn them into an inventory and we can see them. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Wrong menu. Okay, we go. Admin panel, kits, coin drops. Add an item. Wait for it to load. Let's type gold. And it's right here. Gold coins. This is the default Conan gold coins. Now we have highlighted it. How many are we gonna spawn? I'm going to spawn 5 because I like those numbers. Dice don't matter for this type of item. The chance. How how many, what's the chance for it to spawn. Let's set it, let's leave it as 100% for now to make sure that it always spawns. Add the item, click it. I click it twice, so we're gonna have 2. We can remove the extra here, and there you go. Now we're saying that every time this kit is spawned, it's gonna spawn 5 gold coins. Let's try it now. Let's make sure we have it. It is. Let's click apply. The enemy has been summoned. The enemy has been defeated. Did it spawn the coin? There's no coin. There's no coin. What happened? Why is it not working? It happened to me a lot of times. And that's because for the NPC summoner to work, we have to tell it. We have to enable it. In many other instances, we don't have to do this. But in the case of the NPC summoner, we have to enable it. So highlight coin drops, and right here, click enable. Oh my goodness, we have figured it out. Why is it not working? That's why. All right. And then we have to set it to hidden. Otherwise, if we use the check command called list hits, I believe. That's not it. But let's look for it. Here it is. I was on the ballpark. List kits. You can see here that it says kits, blacksmith, coin drops. So a player could spawn these things as an admin, or you know, a player could spawn this, or you don't want the list to be bloated when you actually want them to spawn their own kits. So we have to click click hidden. Let's do that for the blacksmith and the coins. Now they're hidden. Try the check command again. It's showing again. Right. So it was showing the kits because I'm an admin, right? So let's try again as an admin, excuse me, list kits. It shows them. Now let's make myself not an admin. So we use the tilde key to bring up the console command and just type make, and you should see here, use the arrows, make me normal. Now we're not allowed to cheat. See, the admin panel is gone. And we type again list kits. There you go. Now it's saying no kits are available to you. So that's why, again, tilde key, make to bring up the command menu, and then use the arrows, make me admin. The shortcut, or like always, you can just go and do the long way around, which is, you know, this, right? Like always. So there you go. That's why you need to hide the kits. Now, where were we? Why is the kit not spawning? So that's why we have successfully enabled it and then hitting it for all the players. There are more advanced things that we can do here, but let's avoid doing that for now. All we want to do is defeat an NPC and spawn 5 gold coins, which now should be working. Spawn the NPCs. Uh-oh. Defeat the NPC. And now, there you go. They have 5 gold coins. Let's try it with another one. Spawn the NPC. Or you know what? Let's go and make them spawn all the time. There you go. Wait for them to walk a little far. And 5 coins. Again, 5 coins. And again, 5 coins. So there you go. That's how you make an NPC spawn kits. Now let's add a chance to the kit, just so you have an example on how it works. Let's add another item Let's go for silver this time. I know, it's kind of backwards. Let's just do it. Let's add a 50% chance. So shift and click the arrow to make go down by 10 at the item. Now we have gold coins are gonna spawn 5 all the time, and silver coins are gonna spawn 1 half the time. Let's see if that's true. Let's clean up all these bodies. There you go. All the loot is here. So she spawned. Now this one didn't spawn the silver key, silver coins. See, 5 gold, but no silver. And this one, it did. Let's see. And there you go. So every 2 kills, it may or may not spawn. This one didn't. That one didn't. Again. There you go. So that's how you configure the kits. The most important part, always the most important part, to make sure that it's working, I'm telling you, so you can troubleshoot and not go crazy, enable it and then hide it from public. All right, important. Enable it. Also, let's say bonus tutorial. Let's say you want this particular kit to drop on all the NPCs on the game. You want to give coins, like everybody, coins for everybody. So you highlight the kit, you enable it and hide it always. You select an NPC, and there's this one here called base NPC, all NPCs. And what that means is every single NPC in this list will spawn this item. So you select it, and it's gonna work the same way. Always going to spawn 5 gold coins. Half the time it's gonna spawn silver coins. All right, obviously we've been using this NPC summoner as an example. So there's a camp over there, so I'm gonna go run over here and try to defeat one of these NPCs and see if they actually spawn the items that I told you about. So let's try it right now. This is strange. There's nobody here. Alright. Strangely enough, there were no enemies on that camp. So I teleported around and found these imps. So let's see if they drop the coins. And there you go. You drop 5 gold coins because that's 100% chance to drop. I believe there was another one around here. Or let's just try any enemy, because remember, it's for any enemy. So the bunny has been making money. The kappa, I'm sorry, that was mean. It's dropping coins. Let's try this one. Also dropping coins. So that's how it works. That's how you, if you want to add an item to drop on every single, on every single enemy in the game, that's how you make it work. Now what happens if you, bonus, what happens if you want to drop Pippi coins instead? Well, we can do that. It will give you a notification on this side of the screen when it drops. So let's say we want to drop bronze, and let's say we add 10 of them 100% of the time. Add the item. Here it is, the bronze. All right, and let's try now, see what happens if I can find an enemy. Here we go. Oops. See, on the left side of the screen it says 10 bronze coins were added to your wallet. So that's how it works. Now let's see our current coins in the Pippi virtual wallet, which is this. We have 14, so if we defeat this enemy, we should have 24, if I'm mathing. 10 more bronze coins, and the total is 24. And there you go. That's how you configure loot drops. Everything is done through the kits. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoy it. Please like and subscribe and share. And don't forget to leave in the comments below what other video you want to see next. I greatly appreciate all the support you've shown so far. Thank you. Bye bye.